Unveiling the veil of Lily Dale. Welcome, dear viewers, to another spine-tingling episode on our haunted storytelling channel, where we journey into the shadowy realms of the supernatural. Today, we embark on an extraordinary exploration of Lily Dale, New York, a place that defies conventional understanding and stands as one of the most intriguing paranormal hotspots in the world. Nestled along the serene shores of Cassadaga Lake, this small community of approximately 275 year-round residents hides within its picturesque Victorian architecture and tranquil gardens, a centuries-old secret that has drawn spiritual seekers, skeptics, and thrill-seekers alike. Founded in 1879 by members of the Spiritualist movement, Lily Dale claims the title of the world's largest center for spiritualism. However, beyond its official designation lies a labyrinth of haunted history that pulses through every street corner and whispers through ancient trees. The town's very foundation rests upon sacred Native American grounds, long considered a powerful portal between worlds. This convergence of indigenous spirituality and modern spiritualism creates a unique psychic energy that permeates the air, making Lily Dale not just a place of belief, but a living, breathing entity of supernatural activity. What sets Lily Dale apart from other haunted locations is its dual nature, a harmonious blend of light and dark, hope and despair, connection and isolation. During daylight hours, visitors might witness mediums conducting readings in charming gazebos or participate in healing ceremonies at Inspiration Stump. Yet, as twilight descends, the atmosphere transforms. The same streets that seemed welcoming become corridors of mystery, where ghostly apparitions materialize and unexplained phenomena unfold with unsettling regularity. This dichotomy makes Lily Dale particularly fascinating for those seeking to understand the thin veil between our world and the next. The town's haunted reputation extends far beyond mere folklore or tourist attraction. Documented accounts of paranormal activity date back to its founding, with generations of residents and visitors reporting consistent encounters with spirits, poltergeists, and other supernatural entities. These experiences range from gentle communications with departed loved ones to terrifying confrontations with malevolent forces. The sheer volume and consistency of these reports have attracted paranormal investigators from around the globe, many of whom return changed by their encounters in this mystical hamlet. As we prepare to delve into Lily Dale's most haunted locations, it's crucial to approach this exploration with both open-minded curiosity and respectful caution. While some visitors seek comfort and closure through communication with spirits, others find themselves face-to-face with manifestations they never anticipated. The stories we're about to uncover aren't simply campfire tales meant to thrill. They represent real experiences documented by credible witnesses, supported by historical records, and often corroborated by scientific investigation methods. Before we step into our first haunted destination, let's establish an important point. Lily Dale's supernatural landscape operates according to its own mysterious rules. Here, the boundaries between past and present blur, time flows differently, and the distinction between visitor and participant becomes increasingly indistinct. Whether you're a believer eager to confirm your suspicions about the afterlife, a skeptic armed with rational explanations, or simply someone fascinated by the unknown, this journey promises to challenge your perceptions and perhaps make you reconsider what you thought you knew about the supernatural world. So, grab your favorite protective charm, adjust your night vision goggles, and prepare to immerse yourself in the haunted heart of Lily Dale. Remember, while some may dismiss these tales as mere imagination, countless individuals have emerged from this mystical town forever changed by experiences they cannot explain. Let us begin our descent into the supernatural soul of Lily Dale, where reality and the paranormal dance in an eternal waltz of mystery and revelation, guided by the spirits who call this enchanted place home. The eternal whisper of Forest Temple. Deep within Lily Dale's wooded embrace stands Forest Temple, a Victorian-era gathering hall that serves as both sanctuary and spectral beacon. Constructed in 1880, this architectural gem was originally built as a space for spiritual gatherings and seances, yet it harbors secrets far darker than its innocent exterior suggests. The temple's ornate woodwork and stained glass windows mask a history of tragedy and supernatural occurrences that have earned it the reputation as Lily Dale's most active haunted site. The haunting began shortly after the temple's dedication when Eliza Fairchild, a prominent medium and one of Lily Dale's founding members, met her untimely demise during a seance gone terribly wrong. Her spirit, bound to the physical plane by unfinished business, reportedly remains trapped within the building's walls. Visitors frequently report hearing soft whispers emanating from empty rooms, words spoken in Fairchild's distinctive voice warning of the void, a term researchers believe refers to a dark presence lurking beneath the temple's foundation. During renovations in the 1920s, workers discovered hidden chambers beneath the stage area containing artifacts from various occult practices. These findings, including ritual implements and coded journals, suggest that Forest Temple hosted far more than benign spiritual gatherings. Current staff members report equipment malfunctions and sudden temperature drops when attempting to access these underground spaces, accompanied by a sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Several maintenance workers have quit after experiencing what they describe as invisible hands grasping at their tools or feeling overwhelming waves of dread near these forbidden areas. Perhaps most disturbing are the documented cases of possession occurring during special events held in the temple. Multiple witnesses have reported attendees undergoing drastic personality changes, speaking in languages they couldn't possibly know, and exhibiting knowledge of events predating their birth. Medical professionals treating these individuals note similarities in their behavior: compulsive drawing of occult symbols, reciting passages from Fairchild's journals verbatim, and displaying acute sensitivity to specific frequencies of sound that cause them excruciating pain. The temple's main hall, with its vaulted ceiling and intricate wood paneling, hosts some of the most vivid paranormal manifestations. During evening gatherings, participants often see shadowy figures standing at the back of the room, watching proceedings with apparent interest. Security cameras capture images of these entities moving through walls or hovering above the floor, their forms shifting between human-like shapes and amorphous clouds of darkness. Particularly chilling are the instances when these apparitions appear to interact with physical objects, books falling from shelves, chairs scraping across the floor, or curtains billowing despite closed windows. Local historian Dr. Margaret Hensley has spent decades documenting Forest Temple's supernatural activities. Her research reveals a pattern of increased paranormal phenomena during celestial alignments, particularly blood moons. Soil samples taken from beneath the temple show abnormally high concentrations of quartz and other minerals known to conduct psychic energy. Most intriguing are the EVP recordings collected during investigations, featuring multiple voices overlapping in conversation about maintaining the barrier, suggesting a collective consciousness working to protect something within the building. The temple's basement level, accessible only through a hidden staircase discovered in 1963, presents perhaps the most alarming paranormal activity. Maintenance workers report hearing distant chanting in ancient languages, accompanied by rhythmic drumming that seems to originate from the very walls. Thermal imaging cameras regularly capture heat signatures forming geometric patterns in the air, while EMF detectors register fluctuations matching brain wave activity in deep meditation states. Several mediums who have visited this space describe overwhelming feelings of both terror and awe, claiming to witness an ancient council, debating matters beyond human comprehension. The haunting extends beyond visual and auditory phenomena. Many visitors report experiencing overwhelming emotions while inside Forest Temple. Some encounter sudden waves of grief or panic attacks in certain areas, particularly near the original seance room where Fairchild met her fate. Others claim to feel phantom hands tugging at their clothing or brushing against their skin, especially when standing near the stage area. Professional psychics visiting the site often emerge physically exhausted, their abilities temporarily amplified to dangerous levels. Modern technology has only added to the mystery surrounding Forest Temple. Sonar surveys of the basement reveal formations that defy natural explanation, perfect circles of stone arranged in patterns reminiscent of ancient burial sites. When teams attempt to investigate these anomalies, their equipment fails consistently, forcing them to abandon their efforts. Fishermen working nearby coordinates report their compasses spinning wildly and their radios picking up garbled transmissions that sound like distress calls from sunken ships. The temple's archives house letters and diaries that provide chilling insights into its haunted past. Fairchild's personal journal, discovered hidden in the walls during renovations in the 1950s, details her growing desperation and mentions seeing Dark figures watching from the woods. Researchers handling these documents often develop unexplained rashes or feel intense pressure on their chests, symptoms that disappear once they leave the archive. Several archivists have reported finding pages rearranged overnight, or new entries appearing in handwriting matching Fairchild's style. Security footage from the temple's surveillance system has captured numerous unexplained events. Motion detectors frequently trigger without cause, showing empty hallways filling with mist or doors opening and closing on their own. Night vision cameras have recorded what appears to be a young woman pacing outside the main hall, her form visible only as a heat signature against the cool night air. Perhaps most alarmingly, several clips show children playing in restricted areas, only to vanish when approached by security personnel. The haunting presence of Forest Temple affects not just those who venture inside, but the entire surrounding ecosystem. Wildlife behaves erratically in the area, with birds avoiding flight paths over certain sections of the building and fish exhibiting unusual migration patterns in nearby waters. Marine biologists studying these phenomena have noted that animals seem to react to something invisible to human eyes, often fleeing areas moments before unexplained phenomena occur. The haunting echoes of Maplewood Hotel standing as a sentinel to Lily Dale's haunted past. The historic Maplewood Hotel embodies the perfect storm of supernatural activity where hospitality meets horror. Built in 1898 during Lily Dale's golden age of spiritualism, this grand Victorian structure quickly became a hub for mediums, believers, and curious visitors seeking connection with the other side. However, beneath its elegant facade and intricate gingerbread trim lies a labyrinth of haunted hallways and spectral suites that have witnessed countless supernatural encounters over the decades. The hotel's haunted reputation centers around room 214, famously known as the Whispering Chamber. This particular suite gained notoriety following the tragic death of Sarah Sage Thompson, a renowned medium who fell victim to carbon monoxide poisoning in 1912. Guests staying in room 214 report hearing faint whispering voices emanating from the walls, often reciting fragments of seance transcripts found in the hotel's archives. More disturbing are the instances where visitors wake to find cryptic messages written in frost on their bathroom mirrors or scrawled in condensation on windows, always bearing the same signature. Sane. The hotel's dining hall serves as another focal point for paranormal activity. Staff members recount numerous instances of dishes rearranging themselves on serving trays, silverware floating through the air, and the distinct smell of lavender, Sage Thompson's signature scent, wafting through the kitchen despite no use of such products. Several wait staff have resigned after witnessing food items disappearing from plates only to reappear elsewhere in the dining room, sometimes miles away in guest rooms or even outside the building entirely. Perhaps most alarming are the reports from maintenance workers servicing the hotel's ancient dumbwaiter system. This mechanical lift, installed in 1903, connects all 4 floors and serves as a conduit for some of the most disturbing supernatural phenomena. Workers report hearing disembodied voices calling from empty shafts, feeling cold breath on their necks while performing repairs, and witnessing the dumbwaiter move independently between floors. On several occasions, guests have reported seeing shadowy figures stepping out of the dumbwaiter doors, only to vanish when approached. The hotel's ballroom, scene of countless spiritual gatherings and social events throughout its history, hosts some of the most vivid paranormal manifestations. During restoration work in the 1980s, workers uncovered hidden compartments beneath the stage containing personal effects of former performers and attendees. Since then, paranormal activity has intensified dramatically. Instruments left overnight mysteriously tune themselves, sheet music rearranges its notes, and security cameras capture images of ghostly dancers swirling across the floor to music that fills the silent room. Local historian Dr. Evelyn Carter has documented over 300 separate incidents of paranormal activity at Maplewood Hotel dating back to its opening. Her findings reveal a pattern of increased supernatural occurrences during significant anniversaries related to the hotel's history. Electromagnetic field readings consistently spike during these periods, correlating with reports of apparitions, object movement, and auditory phenomena. Most intriguing are the EVP recordings collected during investigations, featuring clear voices discussing upcoming events or warning of impending danger. The hotel's basement level, converted from wine storage to laundry facilities in the 1950s, presents perhaps the most unsettling paranormal activity. Maintenance workers report hearing distant footsteps echoing through empty corridors, accompanied by the sound of children laughing and playing. Thermal imaging cameras regularly capture heat signatures forming human-like shapes near the old coal chute, while EMF detectors register fluctuations matching patterns observed at other known paranormal hotspots worldwide. Several mediums who have visited this space describe overwhelming feelings of sadness and longing emanating from the area. The haunting extends beyond visual and auditory phenomena. Many guests report experiencing overwhelming emotions while staying at Maplewood Hotel. Some encounter sudden waves of nostalgia or homesickness for places they've never visited, particularly in rooms overlooking the lake. Others claim to feel phantom hands guiding them through hallways or pulling at their clothing, especially when approaching restricted areas. Professional psychics visiting the site often emerge physically drained, their abilities temporarily enhanced to uncomfortable levels. Modern technology has only added to the mystery surrounding Maplewood Hotel. Sonar surveys of the basement reveal formations that defy natural explanation, perfect circles of stone arranged in patterns reminiscent of ancient ceremonial sites. When teams attempt to investigate these anomalies, their equipment fails consistently, forcing them to abandon their efforts. Cell phones carried by guests frequently capture images of figures standing behind them in photographs, only visible upon review. The hotel's archive room houses ledgers and guest registries that provide chilling insights into its haunted past. Thompson's personal diary, discovered hidden in the walls during renovations in the 1970s, details her growing awareness of the hotel's supernatural nature and her attempts to document these phenomena. Researchers handling these documents often develop unexplained headaches or feel intense pressure on their temples, symptoms that disappear once they leave the archive. Several archivists have reported finding pages rearranged overnight, or new entries appearing in handwriting matching Thompson's style. Security footage from the hotel's surveillance system has captured numerous unexplained events. Motion detectors frequently trigger without cause, showing empty hallways filling with mist or doors opening and closing on their own. Night vision cameras have recorded what appears to be a young woman pacing outside guest rooms, her form visible only as a heat signature against the cool night air. Perhaps most alarmingly, several clips show children playing in restricted areas, only to vanish when approached by security personnel. The haunting presence of Maplewood Hotel affects not just those who stay there, but the entire surrounding environment. Wildlife behaves erratically in the area, with birds avoiding flight paths over certain sections of the building and fish exhibiting unusual migration patterns in nearby waters. Marine biologists studying these phenomena have noted that animals seem to react to something invisible to human eyes, often fleeing areas moments before unexplained phenomena occur. The mystical presence of Leland Woods beyond the carefully maintained gardens and Victorian homes of Lily Dale lies Leland Woods, a 16-acre expanse of ancient forest that serves as both spiritual sanctuary and supernatural enigma. This densely wooded area, originally part of the Seneca Nation's sacred lands, contains some of the oldest trees in western New York, many predating European settlement by centuries. The wood's haunting reputation stems not from human tragedy but from something far more primal, the spirits of the forest itself, defending its ancient domain against encroaching civilization. Local Native American tribes, particularly the Seneca people, have long revered this area as a gateway between worlds. Their oral traditions speak of tree spirits, ancient beings that inhabit the oldest oak and maple trees, serving as guardians of the forest. According to these legends, the spirits manifest as glowing orbs of light that drift through the forest floor, leading travelers astray or protecting them from harm depending on their intentions. Modern visitors report seeing these lights, often referred to as Leland will-o'-the-wisps, dancing among the tree trunks, particularly during foggy evenings. Park rangers and frequent visitors describe encounters with what they call forest reclamation, instances where the wilderness actively resists human presence. Campers have reported their tents being dismantled overnight, with stakes bent at impossible angles and ropes knotted in complex patterns. GPS devices malfunction consistently within certain areas of the woods, directing hikers in circles until they stumble upon ancient petroglyphs carved into massive tree trunks. These markings, rediscovered in the 1970s, seem to pulse with bioluminescent energy during full moons, though scientists have failed to identify any chemical reaction that could explain this phenomenon. The network of trails through Leolin Woods serves as a conduit for some of the most documented paranormal activity. Visitors walking these paths often experience what rangers term time dilation, periods where subjective perception of time stretches or compresses dramatically. Groups traveling together have reported splitting up without realizing it, only to reunite hours later despite maintaining constant communication. Security cameras positioned along the trails capture footage of trees seemingly moving to block paths or branches reaching out to grasp at passing hikers. Perhaps most disturbing are the accounts of whispering trees. Rangers conducting nighttime patrols frequently hear voices emanating from the forest, speaking in languages that predate recorded history. Linguists analyzing audio recordings have identified elements of Iroquoian language families, suggesting these voices belong to long-extinct tribes. Some researchers hypothesize that the forest itself acts as a living archive, preserving the memories and languages of those who once called it home through some unknown biological mechanism. The wood's champion trees, some over 300 years old, exhibit peculiar characteristics that challenge scientific understanding. Instruments measuring electrical conductivity detect unusual energy patterns emanating from these giants, particularly during thunderstorms. Witnesses describe seeing lightning strike these trees without causing damage, instead illuminating intricate patterns on their bark that resemble circuit boards or neural networks. Biologists studying this phenomenon have documented accelerated healing rates in these trees compared to younger specimens, suggesting some form of advanced cellular regeneration. Camping areas throughout the woods host their own unique hauntings. The bluff overlook, situated on higher ground providing a panoramic view of Casadaga Lake, has become famous for its shadow animals, wolf-like creatures that patrol the perimeter after sunset. Unlike typical wildlife, these entities cast no reflection in water and leave no tracks despite their substantial size. Hunters and photographers have captured images of these beasts, only to find their equipment corrupted or their film developed blank except for a single frame showing glowing eyes. The wood's waterways add another layer of supernatural intrigue. Canoeists paddling through the network of creeks often report feeling their vessels guided by unseen hands, steering them away from dangerous areas or toward hidden archaeological sites. Several underwater springs within the creek system maintain constant temperatures year-round, defying seasonal changes. Divers exploring these springs describe being surrounded by schools of fish that form geometric patterns before disappearing into solid rock faces, leaving behind trails of phosphorescent algae. Perhaps most compelling is the wood's effect on electronic devices. Cell phones lose signal in areas where reception should be possible, while compasses spin erratically despite clear weather conditions. Digital cameras frequently capture images of figures observing from the tree line, though these individuals are never visible to the naked eye. Audio recordings made within the woods often contain overlapping layers of sound, bird calls, insect chirps, and human-like speech that shouldn't naturally occur simultaneously. Local conservationists have documented instances of forest memory, situations where injured animals seek out specific trees for healing. These designated trees, identified by peculiar markings and unusual growth patterns, seem to accelerate recovery times in wounded creatures. Scientists studying this phenomenon have discovered elevated levels of previously unknown compounds in the bark and leaves of these trees, compounds that appear to change composition based on the species of animal receiving treatment. The woods trail system, raised above seasonal flooding, provides unique access to these supernatural occurrences. Maintenance workers replacing planks have discovered ancient artifacts embedded in the woodwork, arrowheads, pottery shards, and bone carvings that somehow migrated from archaeological sites miles away. Stranger still, these objects often vanish from park offices or display cases, only to reappear in their original locations within the forest. Geologists studying the wood's topography have encountered their own share of unexplained phenomena. Ground-penetrating radar reveals vast underground networks of tunnels and chambers that shouldn't exist given the area's geological history. Attempts to explore these spaces have resulted in equipment failure and team members experiencing vivid hallucinations of primeval forests teeming with megafauna long extinct in North America. The wood's seasonal flooding cycle seems to amplify its haunting qualities. During high water events, visitors report seeing entire ghost towns emerging from the floodwaters, structures and streets that don't appear on any maps or historical records. These apparitions remain visible for hours before dissolving back into the landscape, leaving behind impressions in the mud that match architectural styles from various eras of human habitation. The enigmatic presence of Inspiration Stump at the heart of Lily Dale's spiritual landscape stands. Inspiration Stump, a site that defies simple categorization as either holy ground or haunted location. This weathered oak stump, all that remains of a mighty tree felled by lightning in 1906, serves as both a conduit for divine messages and a focal point for unsettling supernatural phenomena. The stump's significance grew exponentially following the mysterious disappearance of Reverend Charles Aldrich, a prominent spiritualist minister who vanished while conducting a healing ceremony at this exact spot. During daylight hours, Inspiration Stump functions as a gathering place for mediums and spiritual seekers, hosting daily messages from the other side. However, as twilight descends, the atmosphere transforms dramatically. Visitors report seeing shadowy figures materializing around the stump, their forms flickering between human and animal shapes. These apparitions often arrange themselves in precise geometric patterns before dissipating into mist, leaving behind a distinct sulfuric odor that lingers for hours. Several witnesses have captured thermal images showing heat signatures radiating from the stump in complex mandala-like formations, patterns that shift and evolve even when no one is present. The ghostly guardians of Assembly Hall standing as a testament to Lily Dale's rich spiritualist heritage, Assembly Hall emerges as a paradoxical haven where enlightenment and terror intertwine within its historic walls. Constructed in 1884, this stately Victorian building has served as the primary gathering space for spiritualist conventions and seances for over a century. Yet beneath its ornate facade and elegant meeting rooms lie shadows of the past that refuse to fade, manifesting in some of the most dramatic paranormal activity ever documented in organized spiritual settings. The hall's most persistent supernatural resident is believed to be Martha Coffin Wright, a pioneering figure in both the women's rights movement and spiritualism. Wright, who passed away in 1875, reportedly continues to oversee proceedings from her favorite seat in the balcony. Attendees frequently observe an elderly woman in period dress sitting alone in the upper rows, scribbling notes in a leather-bound journal. When approached, she vanishes, leaving behind the faint scent of lilacs and a lingering chill in the air. Several mediums have independently confirmed her presence through automatic writing sessions that produce text-matching Wright's known correspondence style. During major events, particularly the annual Lily Dale Assembly, the building transforms into a vortex of supernatural activity. Stagehands report seeing translucent figures arranging chairs and adjusting lighting equipment, despite all personnel having vacated the premises. Sound engineers capture audio feedback loops containing fragments of speeches delivered decades ago, sometimes overlapping with current presentations in perfect synchronization. Most disturbing are the instances where these historical recordings continue playing even after all power sources have been disconnected, their volume increasing until the entire building resonates with voices from the past. Patterns of the Paranormal. Analyzing Lily Dale's hauntings. Examining Lily Dale's haunted locations reveals striking patterns that transcend individual sites, suggesting deeper connections between the town's supernatural phenomena. Each location demonstrates a unique combination of historical significance, environmental factors, and spiritual resonance that amplifies its paranormal activity. The interconnectedness of these sites creates what researchers term a supernatural ecosystem, where energies flow between locations, influencing and strengthening each other's manifestations. A crucial commonality emerges in how these hauntings manifest across different environments. Urban settings like Maplewood Hotel exhibit structured, almost theatrical patterns of supernatural activity, reflecting humanity's attempts to organize and understand the unknown. In contrast, natural spaces such as Leolin Woods demonstrate organic, self-sustaining supernatural ecosystems that operate independently of human influence. This dichotomy suggests that hauntings adapt to their environment, taking on characteristics that mirror their surroundings: formal and deliberate in built spaces, fluid and instinctual in wilderness areas. Embracing the mysteries of Lily Dale as we draw this chilling journey through Lily Dale's haunted heritage to a close, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of understanding, where science meets spirituality and reality blends with the supernatural. The stories we've explored, from the echoing halls of Forest Temple to the ancient wisdom of Leland Woods, weave together a tapestry of terror that transcends mere ghost tales. These locations, each uniquely haunted by their own mysterious energies or tragic pasts, collectively paint a portrait of a town where the boundary between worlds remains perilously thin. What sets Lily Dale apart from other haunted locations is its authenticity. These aren't manufactured scares designed for entertainment, but genuine sites where hundreds, sometimes thousands, of people have experienced phenomena they cannot rationally explain. The consistency of reports across different demographics, from skeptical scientists to wide-eyed tourists, lends credence to the idea that something truly extraordinary occurs within these spaces. Whether it's the anguished spirits of Maplewood Hotel, the eternal vigil of Assembly Hall's guardians, or the primeval mysteries of Leland Woods, these hauntings persist because they represent unresolved chapters in our shared human story. Lily Dale's supernatural landscape operates according to its own mysterious rules. Here, the boundaries between past and present blur, time flows differently, and the distinction between visitor and participant becomes increasingly indistinct. Whether you're a believer eager to confirm your suspicions about the afterlife, a skeptic armed with rational explanations, or simply someone fascinated by the unknown, this journey promises to challenge your perceptions and perhaps make you reconsider what you thought you knew about the supernatural world. As you contemplate visiting Lily Dale, or any of its haunted locations, keep in mind that these sites demand respect and understanding. They are not merely tourist attractions but living, breathing entities that require careful interaction. The spirits that inhabit these spaces, whether benevolent guides or restless wanderers, deserve acknowledgement of their presence and recognition of their stories. By approaching these haunted places with reverence and an open heart, visitors can experience the true essence of Lily Dale's supernatural heritage.